Understanding the customer journey from becoming a person who doesn't know you exist to your most loyal customer is something that is critical for you to understand in order to save yourself a lot of time, money, and heartbreak when it comes to growing your business. So in today's video, we're going to talk about exactly that. And I'm going to walk you through the process that we've taken so many of our clients through here at Service Genius. Now let's dive in. Now, first of all, I want to say, if you don't already know, my name is Luis Muniz. I'm the Director of Success and President here at Nonconformist Inc., the company behind the brand Service Genius. And it's my job to make sure that each one of our clients has the best shot at tremendous success in their business. I'm the guy working behind the scenes trying to make sure that you get the need to know information and that we are able to provide the tools, resources, and knowledge necessary for you to hit those outrageous goals that you hold so dear to your heart. So in today's video, we're going to go through and talk about each one of these different aspects of the customer journey and break it down for you in as simple of an understand way as possible. Where I would like to start this conversation at is with characterizing how we're going to focus on this journey. Now, there are a lot of different ways for you to get customers into your business. And there are a lot of different resources that we've provided that we talk about the various ways and aspects that you should come at this problem. But for today's video, we're going to be talking about specifically the digital journey. Now, the reason why I want to talk about it is not just because that's what we specialize in, but also because we specialize in that because it's the best way for you to get the very best customers into your business, right? So with that in mind, let's talk about the search that your customer goes on in order to find a service provider. Because if you can understand the nature of how they come about finding you and the difference that it can make in your business for the way in which you connect with those searchers, then you can start to understand how the entire rest of this process is going to be drastically different than the approach that many other service businesses around you may be taking right now. Now, I can remember when I was growing up, my mom, she had a service business. She cleaned houses. And the idea was that the more customers we had, the more money we would make. But as you probably know by this point, if you've had any customers at all, not every customer is equal in the quality that it can provide to your company. Now, we focus a lot as service providers on the quality that we provide to our customers. But there are nightmare customers out there that you simply don't want to deal with, no matter how much money they're willing to offer you. Okay, maybe there's an amount of money that'd be worthwhile putting up with some people. But, it's not like we're going to get $1 million from each one of these people. So we have to pick and choose who it is that we actually want to do business with. Now, in the beginning, you may have had to take on a lot of customers and clients that you didn't necessarily enjoy their work. Maybe sometimes the revenue per hour was actually pretty low. Ultimately, over time, you want to get customers who are easier to do business with, are easier for you to sell products and services to, upsell. They want a nice big package and bundle, and they want the services frequently. That, regardless of the service that you provide, that's usually the ideal candidate. Now, the thing about it, though, is that the place that you get your leads from can make all the difference. Now, there are many people in the audience that are familiar with lead sources like Angie's List and Home Advisor. Now, there are people who will swear by these lead sources. And yeah, there are times when you can get a lot of leads in very easily with them. Problem is that oftentimes these are some of the most difficult customers that you can have as a cleaning business. Oftentimes, these people care only about the price and they're looking for the lowest price out there available. And you and I already understand that if there's not a certain amount of revenue involved, it hampers our ability to provide good services to our customers, which is the reason why we have to have high prices. Okay, I stand by that. Here at Service Genius, we're not the lowest cost competitor out there in the market. We are good price, good value, and that's what you should be selling, is great value to your customers. But some people aren't interested in that. They only care about how much does it cost at the end of the day. And that's a limitation to their perspective on the world. Well, if that's the case, just let them. just let them go and find people on Home Advisors, Angie's List, and call on their cousin with the pressure washer to come splash some water on their thing, right? Just let them go. But for you want the very best customers, and that's what we bring to our clients. And how we do that is through Google search. Now, we advocate a process that we call the Google search domination strategy, and wherein we go in and we dominate all areas of the Google search page so that we crowd out the competition, we get the most leads in our local area, and we starve our competitors of the revenue that they need to support their business, making it more difficult for them to compete against us. But the benefit, besides lots of money and revenue to our clients, is that our process also builds a relationship with Google, wherein we have seen that over time, the quality of the leads are really good. Now, what I mean by really good is that they tend to come from those neighborhoods that you want to be in, right? I'm talking about the places with the big houses and the owners with the deep pockets. These people are willing to pay a big price for premium services that make their homes look beautiful and their life more simple and easy. Now, in pursuit of these customers, you have to get in front of them. And that's the reason why we focus on Google. You see, that's the area that most people, regardless of their income level or background, go to in order to find a service provider. And the nice thing is that Google doesn't just want to send those leads anywhere. Google is a professional recommendation service, or that's the way that I like to characterize it, so that you and the audience can understand that we go to Google because they give good quality search results. So when clients come to me to show up on the Google search, I'm going through a process of building that relationship with Google so that they know, like, and trust you, so they'll send leads to you. But Google also has this interesting phenomenon that happens where the longer that relationship goes, it's been my experience that the quality of leads become better. Now, not only are we getting better penetration into the neighborhoods that you want to go in, but I swear there must be some magic mojo sauce going on in the background, wherein a lot of the low quality leads, Google couldn't just tell, and they tend not to come. Now, this isn't something I'm going to swear by or make my career on. At the end of the day, the process that I'm about to walk you through will help you understand how even the lower quality leads can sometimes be filtered out through the process of the customer journey, and that you can automate that process so that the results coming out on the other end are easy for you to achieve. So when it comes to showing up in that Google search, there's a lot of different things that are going to have to happen. But from this section, what you need to understand is that Google search can provide better quality leads to you, and that versus other opportunities to market offline, this provides you one of the best opportunities to collect lots of data on your customers, right? Because not only are they submitting a form once they come to your website and you can get some additional information on them, you can choose who it is that you target. And ultimately, once they're to your website, you will have the ability to pixel them with something like a Facebook pixel. It's a little piece of technology that sits on your website and can help you track the people that come to your website, so that those who don't buy can be followed up with additional advertisements on Facebook and other platforms to help increase that conversion rate and get the few scragglers that happen to get away from your website. Okay, now that that's been said, when we've talked about lead sources, the difference between lead sources, why you'd want digital marketing, and ultimately the quality of the lead sources from Google, let's go ahead and jump over to the next section where we're going to talk about capturing those leads and how the process of capturing those leads can vary depending upon the strategy that you want to employ. But I have a great recommendation on what we have seen does the absolute best for service-based businesses. On the topic of capturing leads, this entire section is going to be revolving around the concept of a high converting website. Now, think about this. If you weren't already aware, your website is essentially a digital version of yourself, of your salesperson. Now, why is that? Think of it. You, in real life, have a process wherein you go in front of people, make them aware that you have a good or service that they could benefit from, and then you have to convince them. It may be involving a process of handling their objections, delivering the value that they most care about, and then showcasing some benefits and features to help them realize how great this would be for them to have themselves. And that's exactly what your website does. When people come from a Google search or other sources, your website provides the function of being your online salesperson by handling the objections before they're ever presented, by showing all the features of the benefits that you provide and helping the person who's on the website really feel the value of your services. And then showcasing some really powerful conversion elements like reviews, because reviews are the number one most powerful element to put in front of somebody who is trying to make a purchasing decision, right? Because what does better to convince you that the thing that you're thinking about buying will be a good fit for you other than reviews from real life other human beings who are in your same situation and walked away very happy and satisfied with their decision to purchase XYZ? Okay, it's pretty simple to understand. Now, you have a few of these elements on your website and you're going to start to see the conversion rate go up. So if at this time you are struggling to get your website to perform or not quite sure exactly what it is that it's even supposed to do for you other than get more customers, then you need to understand how to properly deploy some of those elements into your website so that you can get that high converting element. Think about like this. If you have your Google search going really well and you're getting lots of leads coming to your website, the last thing that you'd want is a bad salesperson to be the one to have to handle those leads. And if your website is supposed to be like an online salesperson that handles those leads for you, sometimes you need to fire your salesperson and get a new one, or you need to retrain them, which may mean just rebuild your website. This is the kind of language I try to help my clients to understand with the situation that they're in. That at the end of the day, your website provides a function. And sometimes if you don't understand the function, the roles, and all the devices that go into making that website function well, then you may need to just reach out to an expert who works with these things every single day and can help you understand the changes that need to be made to your website. Now, once you have that high converting website, though, you're going to get a lot of people that want to buy from you. So what is the next step? Okay, once you finally get them to raise their hand and say, yes, this looks like this could be the solution for me. Well, that's usually when they need to pick up the phone and call you and talk to you in person, or need to click a little button and request that you follow up with them. Now, the old school way was to just have them fill out a form. Now, let me ask you, are you available every minute of every day to follow up with somebody immediately for their quote request? Because if you are, then you might not need any additional help. But the rest of us are pretty busy in our business. And oftentimes, if you're up on a ladder or up on a roof, you simply can't answer the phone or respond to that email that just came in for a quote request. So let me ask you, what do you think that customer is doing in the meantime while they're waiting for you to provide services? I mean, after all, they probably found you at this point through a Google search because they're actively searching for somebody right now and they're planning to hire someone today. So the faster you can get back to them, the more likely it is that you're going to close on that deal. And for every wasted lead, that's money out the door. Not only did you pay money to get that lead to come into your business, but now all the potential money that you could have made is just gone into the ethos and you're never going to get it back. So you want to capture that information as fast as possible and follow up with a quote right away. So how do you do that if you are too busy to monitor this all the time or to have a person sitting in the office to give those quotes? Well, that's where one of my favorite tools comes into play. And this tool is called Responsibit. Responsibit is a company I've had a personal relationship with now for quite some time, for many years. I've worked with the owner personally. I've gone to their shows, exposés. I've been inside and outside of their tool. And I can tell you from personal experience, not only just setting it up and using the tool, but also seeing the results for the amount of money that comes through when you use this tool, that it is absolutely worthwhile. So let me tell you a little bit about Responsibit, because surely there's somebody out in the audience who's not familiar with it already. What Responsibit is a tool that you can install on your website so that once those leads go there to click to ask for a quote, Responsibit will automatically generate that quote for them. Now, sometimes people are a little bit nervous about letting a tool calculate their quote for them. Listen, this is meant to more or less be a guide, a ballpark figure, but you can make the decision at the end of the day how you would deploy it in your company. But the advantage to my clients has been that when they deploy this to give out the 10, 15, 20 quotes a day sometimes that they otherwise would have had to do, and their office person just couldn't keep up with because we're bringing too many leads in. And the way that it does it is that it can calculate for multiple different services. And you can set it up so that whatever parameters and factors go into deciding what your price should be, that they should be there. And also understand that at the end of the day, we're kind of thinking about this as a ball game, right? When we look at a batter, what we are caring about is their average. And sometimes you're going to knock it out of the park. Sometimes you're not going to do too well. And so we have these highs and we have these lows. What we're looking for is the average ticket price in between it all. Sometimes maybe the job didn't work out as sweet as you would have liked it to. Sometimes you're going to really get a lot of good profit out of a job. But through all the leads that should be coming into your business, right? And the average between the performance of all these different jobs, you should really be seeing an increase in your average ticket. And that's exactly what ResponsiBid does. Not only have I seen this from my clients, but that is specifically what the owner of a ResponsiBid set this tool up to be able to do, to deliver leads, convert at a higher rate than just your website would, and also help you increase your average ticket for your services. And the great thing is that it also does the follow up for you automatically, right? Because if you're not following up with your leads, then you're losing 2/3 of the leads that you otherwise would be converting. And this is based upon not only my personal experience, but research from the Harvard School of Business, who has shown that 2/3 of your business is going to come from those customers and leads that you follow up with. So follow up, follow up, follow up, and you make more money, okay? I also wanted to take just a moment to revert this back to a concept that we use a lot with our clients here. And it's really important for you to understand why you should care so much about your customer journey. And I'm just going to talk about it for a brief moment. And if you followed me for any time online, you've probably heard me talk about the law of thirds many times before. The law of thirds say that if you focus on 3 different aspects of your business and you pick just at least 2 of them to increase by 1/3, that you should see your business nearly double in size in 1 year. Okay, so what are these 3 factors? Well, first one is get more customers, and stage 1 of our customer journey really focused on that, right? That is your Google ads and dominating the Google search. Number 2, though, is increasing your average ticket price. And that's one place that ResponsiBid can really, really help. Okay, so we'll talk later about the third one, which is selling more services more often to your customers. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next section, which is going to be talking about conversion principles. Because now that you have lots of leads coming in and you have a way to give them a quote, we need to talk about the elements that can really kill this entire process. Because there are things throughout each stage of the customer journey that go into the conversion metrics and can kill the entire process. Okay, so conversion metrics. We've talked about several different things that go into conversions, having a high conversion rate and et cetera so far already. So this section, I'm going to be trying to touch bases on a few things and then also tie in our old concepts all together in a nice cohesive way for you. So when you are using technology like ResponsiBid or maybe a chatbot on your website or other elements that you're adding to your website to make it more compelling and more likely that people are going to request a quote and follow through with the process, there are a few general principles that you need to consider. First of all, customization plays a huge role. I don't want to treat people that come in as a blanket. I don't want to treat people who come in through the sales process all the same. The more individual that I can make their experience feel, the more likely that they are to buy from me. And at the end of the day, what we're really providing to people other than a great clean is an experience. And that holds true no matter what it is that your service is. Heck, I have the same thing going on in my business. When my clients come to me, they're looking for an experience. And that's what it is that I need to provide in order to have higher conversion rates and sticky customers who don't leave. So when the process is developed and it feels so much like it's customized individually for them, and they don't see anything out there that's just that robotic, blank templated kind of a response, they're going to feel better. And that's one of the great things about Responsibit is that it can customize it based upon the services that are asked, name of the individual, locations, all kinds of different things. Now, at the same time, I might use other types of tools to communicate with these individuals, whether I have converted them or I haven't converted them. And so some of these tools might include something like an automated postcard mailing system. I used to work at SendJim, which is now Service Moxie, but there's other tools out there, like EDDM and Dope 360 and a couple other ones that you can use to go ahead and send out customized postcards to your customers. Now, that is one of the things that I love, and I use it in multiple different ways. Not only should you be sending that out to your leads that come in that don't close on a deal with you, which does happen, right? From time to time, people just aren't going to buy. Follow up, and you'll get more deals. But also with my existing book of customers, I should be following up with them at minimum once a year to go through and remind them that, hey, last year I did this service for you and it's time for it again. And hey, look, here's a picture of your own house with whatever it is that I remember about you as an individual last time I was there working with you. Now, my mentor, Chris Phillips, who had a multi-million-dollar cleaning operation and has done a lot of coaching for some of the biggest service companies out there. He would like to tell me that when you go through and do this customized approach, that you should try and write down details about the people that you're interacting with, especially if it's your existing book of customers. When you're there at their home, take some time to see, do they have a dog? Is their kid about to graduate college sometime this year? What other details can you glean from them through conversation that you have? And then put that information into your CRM. And there are times that you can build follow-up sequences. So one thing that Chris would like to do would be to send people congratulatory gift when their son or daughter graduated college or high school, because he was aware that that was a thing that was about to happen. Or he'd follow up with the visit with some dog treats and say, hey, it was really great doing business with you. We loved it. Here's some treats for the dog. Or if you're trying to get more business, sending those treats then and then reminding them, hey, wasn't it about time for us to come back and clean your gutters again? Those kind of things are powerful conversion elements and are highly customizable experiences that you can have with your clients. And if you are doing your due diligence as a service business owner and trying to ensure that you're cross-selling and upselling and having that high average ticket, you can absolutely afford to do all these things because it's not an expense. It is an investment because it's what got you that job to begin with. But this same principle still applies to email campaigns, text messages, chatbots, and any other user experience. Everything really needs to be customized to that individual. And the better that you can do at that, the better off that you're going to be as a company. And I'm telling you, now in the age of AI, where so many more things are far more accessible to service-based businesses, this is the way that everything's going to go. And you have to deploy this in your business, because if you don't, your competitors absolutely will be. And with that, I'm going to leave you with one last aspect of this section, and that is the timely follow-up. Now, we talked before about in this customer journey, the lead coming in, coming to your website, going to Responsibit, getting a quote, and needing to be followed up with right away. But sometimes they call you on the phone first. You have to make sure that you have a system and a process in your business for that timely follow-up. So make sure that somebody answers the phone every single time. If you cannot answer the phone and you don't have an office person to be your backup, then please just go out and get a phone answering service. There are many services that will charge only based upon the amount of time that they answer the phone and not even a monthly fee. That, or they may be low. There are also many AI innovations coming this way that we're even working on here at Service Genius to make it possible for AI to answer your phone. Now, it's a big ask, but it's coming. Mark my words. Watch, one day, a year or two from now, someone will be watching this video and they'll be like, yeah, bro, we already had that for a long time. But right now, in April of 2024, it's still technology that is being developed. But what you need to understand is that not answering the phone is one of the biggest conversion killers for your business. And not properly cross-selling or giving that customized feel when you're on the phone can also do the same amount of damage. Now, there's a lot to be said about the sales process, sales scripts, and sales training when it comes to over the phone quote giving, but we're going to leave that for another time. Just understand at this point that if you don't answer the phone, you can't expect anybody to become your customer. And once you are answering the phone, make sure that you get the quote to them quickly. So if you have Responsibid, you can do some automated quote generation and also follow up in other ways. In this section, we're going to talk about delivering on those promises to your customers. And when you get this right, the benefit to you is that it can help your business skyrocket in its customer retention, average ticket value, and your growth year over year. So let's dive in and take a look. Now, for this section, I'm going to focus a lot on your customer relationship management software, your CRM. Now, some of you out in the audience don't have this right now. So this is my call to action to you to challenge you to go out and sign up for something. Okay, I have a few platforms that are my favorite, but at the end of the day, the function that you're looking for is the ability to record those interactions that you have with people, whether they're requesting quotes or actually servicing jobs. And then from there, use that information to follow up and improve your customer experience. The benefit to you is that you'll get more work from this, your average tickets will go up, and your life should become a lot easier as a business owner when it comes to managing those relationships, because there's all kinds of automations and cool technology that you can build into that process. But I want to make this just stupid simple for you. So let's focus on how your CRM can help you get a better review and how that process of delivering on your promises has to do with this entire section of this presentation. So I'm going to characterize this as our goal is to get a 5-star review at the end of every job that we service. Now I'm going to characterize that 5-star review on Google as your goal, because if you take the time to follow the steps that I'm about to tell you and deploy these things in your business, you will get that review. If you don't take the time to follow this process and deploy these things, getting a review at all will be a huge challenge to you. And the way that I like to start it off is with instructing my clients to focus on opening the conversation with their customer when you get to their property and characterizing it like this. Sir or madam, I'm here today to provide an excellent experience for you as a homeowner. And I want to let you know right now, before we even start work, that we're here to get a 5-star review from you today on Google. So during the process of providing our services, if there's anything that comes up that might affect your perceived value of what we do here for you today or your satisfaction, please let us know immediately, because we will do our best to rectify that situation, because I don't intend to walk away here today without a 5-star review. So what that does by using that kind of language is it helps anchor the person that you're interacting with, to help them understand what to expect from here. And it also characterizes you as this really consummate professional who has set really high standards and is expecting a tit for tat. I'm here today to provide great service for you, and what I ask for in return is for you to leave me a review. Okay, the money's just part of the interaction and the relationship. That's a given. But collecting that review, that's something that not everybody does. Now, when you take the steps to characterize it like that, you also have to take the time to deliver on that experience. So this is where I want to start to talk about how the CRM can play a role in that. Before you ever even get to the job, right? I should actually even step back further and say, from the first moment that they start to interact with your business, they are experiencing what it's like to do business with you and getting a characterization in their mind about what it is like to do business with your brand. So we have to carefully craft everything from your website to the ads to the way that you present the quotes. But for right now, we're imagining that we already have the job. So maybe it's a day or two before you're supposed to come out and service my work. One of the reasons why I, as a consultant, love CRMs is that there are some platforms out there that can help improve that waiting time between when you receive the quote and when I actually show up at your house to do the work. So how this works is platforms like House Call Pro, for example, will send out early announcements and reminders that, hey, we're going to be at your place tomorrow. This is a picture of our truck. This is a picture of the technician that's going to be doing the work. And going to let you know that tomorrow we're going to send you another notification to let you know that we're on the way. So that kind of interaction, if I am a white collar professional who works a lot and is going to leave my wife at home with the kids during the day, and she's going to be there while some stranger comes to my house in my gated community, I'm going to really appreciate being reminded the day before and then the day of getting the notification with the picture of the person that's going to be at my house. Now, because of the fact that my house is probably full of a lot of expensive stuff and I don't want people coming around that I can't trust, I probably had it as part of my buying criteria before ever even choosing somebody to make sure that the business I selected for this service, that they probably had background checks for their employees and other things that are going to help me feel well. So that's why the customer experience starts before I ever even contact you for the work. But then I'm reminded about why I chose you when I'm actually having you come out. So those early announcements, I love them. And just kind of a quick pro tip, as your business is growing, some of these platforms like House Call Pro can give you the ability to track where your employees are and even give a notification to the customer that where the truck is and that it will be on their way. That's pretty advantageous when you're going to have several jobs during the day, and sometimes from time to time you might get slowed down. Everybody hates waiting for the cable install guy, right? Because they're notorious for, we'll be there sometimes between June and April. So it's this huge window that it just occupies your life. So a small touch that I really appreciate. Okay, now let's talk about additional things that go into the job. And I like to build these things into the CRM once again. In my mind, as a service business owner, I'm going to send my crew out to go and do this work. And I want everything to happen during the day inside of my CRM so I can keep track of it from the office. I don't want to have to go out to the field and view what it is that they're doing, and whatever records that they send me for the work, I want it to be housed somewhere that I can easily reference. So this means that my crew should be going out and doing a pre-work assessment. First thing, they're going to go out and they're going to look for damaged things around the property, because that's my number one concern, is I don't want to be blamed for anything. Now, the nice thing about it is that when you take these before pictures, showing how dirty things were and any damage that was there previously, you also then might get the opportunity to upsell your customer on additional services. Or if there's damage that's there, there's also an opportunity to partner with a company that provides a service to fix that thing, right? Because we like to clean. We don't necessarily like to fix things. So this happens a lot for people that are up on roofs, like roof cleaners, solar panel cleaners, etc. You oftentimes have an opportunity to spot an additional upsell and give a referral to a friend of yours that you have pre-vetted. So just a small tip there. But as a homeowner, having somebody that is a local trusted advisor on issues with my house is a great asset to me. So this happens a lot for, say, like solar panel cleaners, because these cleaners come back 3-4 times during a year if I'm getting my panels cleaned as often as I should. And they're up there on my roof and they can spot damage on my roof, my gutters, or my solar equipment and help me address those issues and save me money in the long run. When you do that, for me as a homeowner, I appreciate my relationship with you a lot more. So characterizing yourself as a company that's going to go out, we're going to do our job, but we're also going to look for other things and let you know ahead of time. So that can help present a really nice appearance to me as somebody that I can trust and turn to for things to do with my home. Okay. Just be that trusted local advisor. That's really the standards you're trying to get to, however it is that you characterize it in your business. And then there is the post-job video and picture taking that should be happening, right? So fundamentally for you, for marketing purposes, you can use these for before and after photos for marketing. You can also use it to help cover your butt to prove you didn't break that thing before you got there. And at the end of the day, you can also provide additional value to the customer because then they can see the clean. So this is really important on some services like solar panels where they don't necessarily see it themselves up close. But there's also additional things that this can just really help them feel the clean. Here's a before of your house and here's an after of your house. And I can remind you about it the next time I want to do business with you. Okay. A little bit of something that I can send your way and help you remind you how good of a job and how good of the experience it was last time we did business. So these small steps can go a long way. Now let's talk about finally closing the job. At the end of the job, I should go back and remind them that I was here for that 5-star review and ask them in whatever way that I want to, did I do this job? Now, oftentimes, the way that I was mentored and I like to coach my customers on is to do it like this, as my friend Chris Phillips taught me. Hey, sir or madam, now that we're done with this work, I just wanted to ask before we leave if there's anything else that we might be able to do around your house, even if it's small. Okay, we have this whole crew of guys here. We can move some heavy things for you if you need a piece of furniture moved. Heck, we could even take out the trash if nothing else, right? And which is kind of a ridiculous offer that I'm going to take out your trash if I was here to clean things. But the idea behind this that Chris had was that I should make sure that I eliminate any opportunity for you to have an objection or something that you're upset about, and give myself the opportunity to identify anything that you might be unhappy about and fix the problem right now before I walk away. Because otherwise, this 5-star review could be 4, 3 stars, or maybe not even a review at all, right? Which is still bad. So take this piece of advice, build a system inside of your business, and if you at all have the capacity to, with the CRM that you have chosen, build in a checklist system that ensures that you, if you're still out in the field, have a system that you can follow. But more importantly, as your business grows, that your crew has a system that they can follow. Otherwise, you're going to try and deploy these things into your business and have a nightmare of a time doing it because people simply won't follow it. That's what the checklist system is for. And the result to you is good business growth that is profitable and easy to manage. So take this time to build these systems into your business, and you'll improve the customer experience, and you'll increase your retention and ultimately your average ticket over time. All going back to that concept of the law of thirds. One of the main things that we can do is focus on increasing our average ticket and the number of times that we do business with our current book of business. All right. That's what I have to say for this section. Let's go dive into the next one. Okay, so in this section, what I want to talk to you guys about is the value of customer retention and some very important elements, strategies, and techniques that you can use to increase that customer retention. Now, the reason why customer retention is so important, you need to really understand this. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in a cycle of chasing new customers. And when you get stuck in that cycle, it really limits your business growth. So here's what you need to know. An existing customer is worth anywhere between 5 to 7 times the amount of a new customer. The reason being that if you have a customer that you know historically will do business with you over and over again, you're going to keep them for anywhere between 5 to 7 years. So that means if you only service them once a year, then you can expect this about 5 to 7 times. You can take that value of each one of those jobs, add them all together, and then you can have an idea of what the value of that customer is. From there, you can break that number down a couple different ways. You can figure out what the profit margin per job is, and then what the average profit per customer relationship is. You can also look at the cost of what it takes to get a new customer versus what it costs to market and get another booked job from an existing customer. For you, at the end of the day, what you need to understand is that the value of your book of business is the value of your company. Well, if somebody was to come and offer you some money to buy your company from you, the main thing that they would be looking at is how many customers do you have and what is the value of each one of those customers. Additionally, with the systems and processes in your business, how good of a job can you do to get those customers to book from you year after year? Build that into your business in an optimal way and watch not only the value of your company increase, but the tangible amount of money that you take home with you every single month will also increase. So with that in mind, let's talk about some ways that you can continue to keep those customers loyal to you as a business. First, I want to talk about how it is that we can decide who it is that we're going to stay in contact with. And once again, this goes back to your CRM, which why, if you don't have one, you absolutely must have one. So go get that set up, amateur. Okay. But at the same time, what we need to do is be putting our information into the CRM to make sure that we know when the last time we did business was, and set some reminders and have some processes where we go in and we look at the CRM. So we need reminders about when the next time is to contact this person, and then a process for going in monthly at least, if no other time, and go in and see, who do I need to contact this month? I really can't tell you the number of times I've been on a sales call with somebody who is desperate for new business, for new customers, and they're talking to me for what seems like ever about this problem. Then we finally come around and I ask them, when was the last time you reached out to your existing customers? And you would almost think that they don't even exist. Okay. Most of your money in your company is going to come from those repeat customers. So if you're stuck in that cycle of trying to get more new customers, this is the reason why you're not paying attention to the ones that you already have. So get that CRM in place, and then choose one that has some really nice marketing features like text messaging, email blasts. Postcards is another really great way to stay in contact with people. And what I need you to understand is that these different methods all have different benefits and their own place in the whole system of things that you need to do. And one mistake that I often see my clients do is they're trying to find out, what is better? Is this better than that? Like, you're going to buy this tool, and that means that you'll never need to buy this tool. At the end of the day, what it really is that you need all these things. And what you should be trying to figure out is, what is the thing that I can deploy now with the current budget and resource restraints that I have that will actually move the ball forward in a measurable way that I can track. And then as my company makes more money, what is the next 2 or 3 things that I need to then deploy? And in what order am I going to deploy these things? That kind of thought process can help you avoid jumping from thing to thing as the thing that you use to maintain those customer relationships. So that's why I can say, choose whatever CRM that you want, but have these functions in your business. So what I really like to have is a process where text messages are sent out to customers who need reoccurring services like gutter cleaning and especially solar panel cleaning. Those 2 things are things that everybody knows that they're going to need on a routine basis, and they're kind of expecting somebody to come out and service their property if they've already had it before. So text messages, they're fast, they're easy. You have to get clearance from the person that you're texting in order to send that out. But once you get it, the response rate is usually very high, and so is the open rate, which is a great advantage. Now, people don't always respond to their text messages though. So that's why sometimes you need some additional touches, especially if you have an older clientele. They might not always do the text messaging thing. So email is another really great way. But let's not forget postcards, because at the end of the day, having something physically tangible that you hold in your hand, and that when I get it in the mailbox, I might not necessarily forget about it if I set it down on the counter or the table or somewhere else. I mean, how many times have you been going through your house and your spouse picks up something and they say, hey, we got this piece of mail, right? Sometimes it's long after you actually got it, but it brings up in your memory that that was a thing that you needed to pay attention to. That's one of the main reasons why I like direct mail. And I know from personal experience, having worked at SendGym, I know the value of direct mail, and it can be quite substantial. There's something to be said about holding a high quality card with a picture of your own house on it, being reminded about that service that you got last time that you were so happy and thankful for. That can really make a difference in your decision to call someone back and have them come do the service again. But there's even more to be said about getting some brownies from somebody who came out and serviced my house and makes me feel amazing, because my goodness, I was just expecting you to haul away those nasty leaves. But now I got this tasty brownie and I wasn't expecting it. Now you've become my favorite service provider. And at this point, I will probably never even look for someone else from this moment forward, because, well, I know you send me brownies. Really. I know you, I like you, I trust you. What else is there to search for? And if you have had a good sales process that helps get past the cost and price objections and help them feel the tangible value, and you're set. I mean, this customer is going to be with you for years, or they should be if you continue to follow these systems. So let's break it down and just reiterate it one more time in case there was any confusion or something was skipped. Okay, you need to have a CRM that tells you when to follow up with these reminders. Choose your platform of choice that you want to stay in contact with these people. Text messaging is a pretty good platform and it's low cost. If you have no budget really available, you want to go with emails because those are the most affordable. But when you start getting any money left over in your business that you can apply towards marketing, especially if you have not already taken the leap to hire a marketer, please go and look at the postcard solution and send some gifts to people for goodness sake. It's going to go really far in helping you get more business and retain those customers. And really, the last and final thing that we have to talk about is loyalty programs. There are some companies out there that have some. There are companies that don't have them. I've had clients who have a subscription program where and they provide all the services for their house. Now, at the end of the day, what it is that you choose for your business is really up to you. I like loyalty programs, but at the same time, I can say that if you just stay in contact with people on a frequent basis and you ensure that they always have a 5-star experience, that sometimes you're not going to need a loyalty program, or it might be something that you can skip because everything else is working out well for you. These are just tools, tips, and techniques that I need to make available to you and try to help you understand where they fit in the customer journey so that you can sit and look at your particular situation and make that strategic decision about what are you willing, able to do at this particular time. Once you've made that decision, go full force into it. Make sure that you put everything into it that you can to be as high a quality as you can, and don't skimp on what it's going to take to make that experience amazing for your customers. And get in the mindset that you're not just here to provide an excellent clean, but also an excellent experience. And you're going to see the profits just grow. All right. Once again, my name is Louis. I am the Director of Success and President here at Nonconformist Inc. And we are the company that is behind the brand Service Genius. We help the best cleaning companies in the United States get access to more customers faster and for a lower price. And if you're one of those businesses out there looking for advice on what to do to improve your business, please reach out to us for a one-on-one meeting where I can give you a game plan to do in the next 90 days to increase your business and simplify your life. Or we also have tons of courses, tools, and other resources to help you get to where you want to be in your business. So why not check them out? A lot of these things tie in directly with the content that you have consumed here today and can help you understand even better each part of this customer journey and what you need to deploy in your business. You know, there's a lot of moving parts, and we get it. It's not always easy to do, but you too can be a service genius, and I'm going to be the guy cheering for you the whole way. All right. Thanks so much for watching, and catch you on the flip side.